he has already filed. How long normally does it take? And then, what happens after that? Sabi mo, he becomes a refugee. So, does he already surrender his citizenship as a Filipino? Hindi na siya makakabalik ba dito sa Pilipinas hanggat maganda na po yung klima politically, if ever? Siya ba'y makakapagtrabaho dyan? Yung pamilya ho ba niya? Masasama niya dyan po sa Netherlands? Paano yan? Or the different members of the family, like the wife and the children, will have to apply also separately?
Yes, so dito, ang status niya ay technically magiging temporary resident if mag-grant yung kanyang asylum application. And it can also include the family, no? But there has to be proof as well. Depende kung paano niya i-frame yung kanyang application kasi parang wala naman tayong nakikitang risks doon sa family niya as of now, no? Pero magiging temporary resident, so that means na he can, like any other resident or immigrant under that status, he can seek employment, he can remain there and seek a path to citizenship, for example, although medyo stricto yung path to citizenship doon. So that's a possibility. I can't predict how long this will take, although the Netherlands is very efficient in administering these processes. Kasi mabilis sila sa asylum kasi sanay sila yung mga kaso ng asylum really from war-torn countries. No? Yung talagang lumilikas dahil napaka-urgent nung sitwasyon, yung risks ay real, na meron silang physical harm na may experience. So they really take this process seriously and expedite it in most cases. Pero dito, we'll see how he frames his case, no? Kasi yung physical harm ay hindi naman siya apparent in this case. So but in any case, whatever the framing might be, baka kasi yung Netherlands naman efficient siya talaga in its procedure. So it can take a couple of weeks or a month or two to process.
Mabilis rin.
Parang parang hindi. Kanina naulinigan ko sa balita, mukhang magtatagal kasi dagsa daw yung dami ng asylum seekers from Gaza, yung mga Palestino, yung mga Ukrainians, ang dami daw, Prof. So anyway, having said that, so ngayon kasi, wala pa siyang court-issued na warrant of arrest. So far, galing pa lang sa Quadcom, yung para sa contempt niya. Pero if and when, itong kanyang pagkakasangkot dito sa Pogo Hub, na sangkot nga daw siya dito sa kasi yung Pogo Hub, maraming illegal na aktibidad na nangyari doon, di umano, Professor. So if and when maglabas ang korte ng warrant of arrest, and Netherlands being a member of the Interpol, bibigyan pa rin ba ng asylum kapag yung aplikante may warrant of arrest na ipatutupad ng Interpol?
Sa aking palagay ay hindi pa rin enough yung warrant of arrest. No, it is part of the regular criminal procedure. Kung may kaso ka, i-issuehan ka talaga ng warrant of arrest. So it still doesn't show how that is persecution and persecution on the basis of any of the protected characteristics under asylum or refugee law. So the mere fact of a warrant of arrest, to me, does not suffice. It really depends on how he's going to characterize the warrant of arrest as evidence maybe of that persecution. But by itself, I don't think it will suffice.
What about Interpol? Yung parang nangyari sa atin dito na dahil miyembro ka ng Interpol, and Netherlands is a member of the Interpol, na makikipag, Netherlands, kailangan din in serving the warrant of arrest will cooperate para maaresto doon ang asylum seeker na si Harry Roque?
Yes, so that is within the discretion of Netherlands authorities. No? So it will certainly also respect its obligations in the Interpol, but as the state where you find the particular person, the Netherlands will always have prerogative as to what it can do to protect that person. But in this case, if it finds that there's no reason to do that, kasi the Netherlands will also have to consider its relationship with the Philippines, no, as sovereign nations. If in the future it wants to cooperate with the Philippines on a certain matter, then it will be a consideration if it's going to block this arrest here. So I don't see it as an obstacle for the Netherlands to turn over. But again, I can't say because every state will have a prerogative to do whatever it deems necessary within its territory.
So, Professor, in the eventuality, let's say, no, I'm sure Attorney Harry Roque is hopeful that he will be granted asylum. But let's say he's not granted. What happens next? What is his next recourse? Can he apply in another country? Another member of the EU, or he has no choice but to come back to the Philippines and just or be a fugitive. Ano yung worst case scenario? Ano pwede pong gawin po ni Attorney Roque kung hindi po siya bigyan ng asylum dyan sa Netherlands?
Yes. So his stay in the Netherlands will depend on the status he has, no, kung anong klaseng visa ang meron siya sa Netherlands. If it's a tourist visa, then that will have to respect the length of time that he can remain in that state. He can apply to other states. I don't see it as a hopeful case if he applies in another EU state because they share information. And like the Netherlands, another EU state will consider if the other EU state had previously denied an asylum application kasi more or less pareho naman sila ng standards kung paano evaluate yung application. So that's certainly a consideration. So best bet would be he would apply to another non-EU country who might look at his application in a different light. But I find that less hopeful in Europe in general.
Okay.
So ito, medyo farther down the line na, Professor, yung tanong ko. Pag kunwari, from being granted yung residency, tapos naging citizenship siya, pag ganyan, you renounce your Philippine citizenship unless kumuha ka ng dual citizenship, hindi ba? At Filipino citizen lamang ang maaring mag-ari ng mga propriedad dito sa atin, lalo na yung mga lupain. Ano mangyayari sa mga propriedad ni Atty. Harry Roque? This is talagang far, far down the line, Professor.
That's right. I think medyo uncertain yung status. I think he will still keep those properties because he owned them as a Filipino citizen, no? And yung prohibition naman ay relates to real property, in particular land. Yun talaga yung hindi pwedeng hawakan ng non-Filipino citizen. So he will have to think about that risk. I suppose also that if those lands had been acquired during his marriage, then they might be absolute community property. So meron pa ring Filipino owner yung lands.
So,
asawa niya, yung
Professor,
misis
I'm just curious, no? How does one present his case before the Netherlands for them to determine if you are, if they will accept you to become to seek asylum there, no? Is everything just online, or is there a hearing? And then is there also parang you have to prove your defense, and then will they get other people who might object to your seeking asylum? How does the process go?
So there is an application at a particular office, I think they call it IND, in the Netherlands, and that application will also include a registration as an asylum seeker. So typically, there will be like a period where the person is allowed to recover. Kasi nga, yung usual case ng asylum is they flee from conflict or war-torn.
Yes.
So there's a resting period. But in this case, hindi mag-a-apply yun. So he will have to prepare for a series of interviews. Think at least 2 interviews where he will justify his application. And then you're right that they can seek other evidence. But that's his burden kasi he will have to present evidence including possible witness statements about his alleged persecution in the Philippines, and then they will make a decision that if the outcome is not favorable to him, he can appeal it to the courts and he can stay in the Netherlands while the appeal is ongoing.
I'll just follow that up with another question. Would you know lang, Professor Michael, if let's say after every 100 cases that the Netherlands hears about people seeking asylum, how many % are granted and how many % are denied?
Oh, I wouldn't know that statistic right
Yeah.
now. What I can note though that immigration is a hot button issue in the Netherlands now. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I think in the recent parliamentary elections, the trend in Europe is that some of the far-right countries had been winning because of immigration issues, including housing issues. So that will certainly be a consideration.
Okay. Samantalahin ko na yung presence ni just a short question on another topic and a quick answer because alam namin that we have to let you go na rin, Professor. Etong yung the Office of the Solicitor General filing yung kanyang manifestation for recusal dito po sa sa petitions ng writ of habeas corpus filed by the children of Duterte. Ano ang reaksyon niyo doon? Dahil sinasabi niya, he feels na yung tanggapan, the office cannot effectively represent the government officials named as respondents to the petition because from the beginning, ang stand na ng OSG is walang jurisdiction ng ICC sa Pilipinas at sinabi nga, yun daw ang naging stand nila from the beginning. So ano ang reaction mo doon? Makunan ka lang namin ng pahayag.
Yeah, I think the OSG has always had that leeway to advocate for the side that it really truly believes is consistent with how it interprets the law. No? So I think that prerogative rests with the OSG and they call themselves the People's Tribune. Pero as the People's Tribune, in my view, you have to make that decision based on where the interest of the people lie. So in this case, I guess the question that we must answer is this position taken on the recusal consistent with where the interest of the Filipino lie in this instance?
Naku, mahirap sagutin yun.
sagutin
Depende
yun.
which side
Sinong
of the fence you
kakausapin
sit.
mo? Oo, correct. Depende. Kung sa Davao yan.
Let's net together. Sa NET25. Sa NET25.